My name is Grace Vergara-Mactal. I'm the Executive Director of SEIU Local 1107.
My name is Kevin Carey. I'm the president of SEIU Local 1107.
Great. Thank you, Grace. For those who may be watching and they're not familiar with the SEIU, can you please explain what it is briefly?
SEIU is Service Employees International Union. We represent 19,000 public or government employees and healthcare workers here in Nevada. But nationally, we're the largest healthcare workers union in the country. And our members has always been, you know, as everybody knows, in the hospital and in a public servant are the frontliners throughout the whole pandemic, you know, so serving our community. So, yeah.
Great, thank you. I know that the SEIU has been working very hard to encourage its members to vote during the general election. Do you feel that the leadership has been successful in motivating the union's members?
Yeah, I'd say absolutely. I'm sorry, Grace.
No,
Absolutely.
go ahead.
Currently, we pushed out close to 80% of all our registered members to this election. So, yeah, absolutely. We've been very successful. We've been doing door knocking. We've been texting. We've been making phone calls. And we're going to be doing this all the way through 7 o'clock tonight. So,
how many people do you have going out doing that sort of thing, doing the door knocking and the texting, you know, making contact with your various members?
Sure. Today, we have, I'd say probably 7 people out on the doors. We got a room right here in our hall that we have 6 people in there currently making phone calls. Our Secretary Treasurer is pushing out a text to the remaining people that in our union that have not voted yet. So we got a bunch of people out there doing that hard work.
And I think we also, to add to what Kevin is saying, we also have some volunteers that are phone banking. But as you know, the phone banking now is more of everything is virtual. So there's probably around 15 of them, in addition to the people on the doors and the folks that are here in the office. So
I believe you said about 80% of your members are planning to vote today. How does that compare to previous elections?
Yeah, we've already surpassed our numbers from the last 2 elections, both the last presidential election in 2016 and the midterm elections from 2018. Usually we push out close to 70% of our members in those past 2 elections. So absolutely 80% has been above and beyond what we've done in the past.
So I just wanted to correct Joyce. 80% that Kevin was talking about is the people that already voted.
Oh, okay. So,
yeah, they voted early and the early votes, and they dropped the ballots.
Well,
yeah.
That is amazing that 80% already voted early. So
yes.
How many do you expect overall to vote?
like I think Kevin says, like in the past, the trajectory was coming to, in 2018 we had it 77%. So I think definitely there is a motivation of voting. So our members are very motivated. We reached the 80 and we surpass it, and we hope to get to 100%. So yeah.
Why do you think your members are so motivated to vote in this election?
Well, you know, I think just like everybody else, you know, everybody understands the consequences of this election, and everybody has been very tuned in to what's been going on in our country. And like Grace said, you know, a lot of our members are those frontline workers. You know, they have been in the community day one from the pandemic. They have seen some of the issues that have arisen because of this pandemic and because of the current administration. So our members are absolutely engaged and motivated to get out there and to make their voices heard.
And speaking of issues, what issues are the members of the SEIU most concerned about? And how will those issues influence their votes?
Well, I think, you know, our members understand what's at stake here, right? You know, people are afraid. I mean, the way that the current administration have handled the pandemic, or one of the biggest issues that in our country is, it's not part to protect our workers. The current administration failed to protect the workers, to make sure that they have a voice. And so I think the fear of the racial discrimination that's happening now, and the healthcare safety, right? So those are the things that we are really hearing from members. And nationally, we're going to keep fighting for the $15 an hour. We're going to keep fighting for unions for all. We're going to keep fighting for the affordable health care for everyone. So those are the main issues that our members are fighting, but it's also making sure that our members are protected and in this pandemic, because like I said, Trump administration failed our members.
Regardless of who does win, either locally or nationally, what can our elected officials do to help the members of the SEIU and the local economy?
Well, I don't think anybody really thought that 7 months into this pandemic, we would still be where we're at. So I think starting at the top of the ticket, we need to have a national strategy. We have to have a leader that's not afraid to believe in science, a leader that's not afraid to make those tough decisions. And then locally, once we get down here, because obviously this election, we're electing our state senate, our legislative people, our judges, our county commissioners, and a lot of those, especially the county commissioners, have a direct effect on many of our members, just like many of our people in our community here today. So we're going to hold them accountable after they're elected. That is our duty, and that's the duty of everybody out there to hold your elected officials accountable. And we want to make sure, like Grace said, all we're asking is that we have safe work environments. We have the proper PPEs for these people that are walking into a COVID unit every day. They know they're going to be in contact with this virus every single day. And they should be afforded the safety, the peace of mind, knowing that they're not going to be taking this virus back to their loved ones at home. And they do this every day. They're out there serving the community and taking care of all of us. And I think we owe it to them to make sure they have a safe work environment. You're on mute.
I'm so sorry. Thank you for that answer. Grace, do you have anything that you would like to add to that before we finish this?
No, I think, I think we've said what our members are motivated and voting. We're going to keep fighting and holding everyone accountable. I think before this election, our union is really about holding the employers accountable to do the right thing to our members. But that fight has kind of changed. It becomes a local election, becomes national election, because, we want to make sure that every worker is protected.